just want to thank him for having this event here today. It's usually customary that the governor from the public opens, but governor's busy from Pojoaque Counsel, so I'm going to go ahead and do the opening in a traditional way. Yeah. Pojoaque Counsel, ya no estoy con no estoy here, no en Mexicano poco no en Haiti, no en Apple Swing, no en Nani, no en Akiko, que went on up here, Pojoaque ya no en Nata, no en Wake, no en Lapo, no en Capo, no en here, no en so Pave, no en that part, no en Meki, no en here, no en Census, que I know you down the Vito, no we bang you ha, Mexicano poco, no en that poco, no en that, no en care, no en I am me, but I know what he got, we go also those Santa, we go Piku, Kapu, the way we go, Mari, knowing that, no he points to Kitty, and I know what he got, knowing that Congressman Ben Ray, knowing Andy, Shanky K, Shanky Kai, Viku, Vipu, knowing he man, of Toki, of a wingy gate, and a gun of Popo, gate, knowing he. Tipo Chare, and I know he got in the week, we also know my he will know the king, my he will know the iron, knowing that I know he forward, and I know he went forward, knowing Washington, my he will support, he will know he forward, my he will know the king, that how we know he got in that chat, how we want, he will know the king, what, and I'm talking about knowing that I know he none, know he got in the week, we also know my cook, know he walks, one man, he cook, know he walks, one temple, but the air, how he told what, my he will know the king, my he will know he walks, one over that, and I know he got my he will know he points it, and knowing that he will support it, but he will know he put it, and knowing that way, knowing that box, you know he none, and I know the only knowing that, know he cookie, knowing that way, know he cookie, and he everybody just wanted to, in additional ways, we always ask our creators, our spirits, or whoever we pray to, that they come in and look upon us today, that they give us a good day. Blessings to everybody, and I ask for a special blessing to our congressman who is out there in Washington, who is always fighting for us, who is always working hard for us to get us resources that we need for our community. And I ask the spirits that brought him here today, returning back, and that during his deliberations or during this time period, that they also help him and assist him as he continues to fight for us. And then for all of you, I ask our spirits that they give each and every one of you good health and long life, and to your families and loved ones that are not doing well, that they also give them good health and long life and get them back to where they need. So that was my prayers, and I just wanted to explain that way everybody understands. So thank you very much, and thank you, Commissioner for allowing me.
Thank you, Governor Martinez. And just want to say God bless us and give us guidance to be successful in this campaign. I'm going to go on to our next item, opening remarks. First of all, like I said, I want to say thank you for everybody being here today. You know, it's with the partnership of our communities and with organizations within our communities that help us be successful. As you may know, the census plays a vital role in the well-being of Santa Fe County residents. Every 10 years, the Census Bureau conducts a census of the United States. The data collected from this process affects the funding for many different programs, including healthcare, community services, infrastructure, transportation, affordable housing, and many other fundamental needs for our community. The goal of the Santa Fe County 2020 Census campaign is to maximize self-response. And the way that we're going to maximize self-response is through community partnerships, education to our county residents about the importance of the census and what it means to our communities. In many ways, you know, a lot of times in the past, it's been difficult to get a lot of the areas counted correctly, especially in our hard-to-reach areas, and we want to make sure that we do this right, because it is money that our state is using. The approach we blended a number of different strategies. Some of those strategies are going to be direct mail We owe it to ourselves and to our communities to ensure that every last person gets counted. As we work with our communities and our partners, which I'm very grateful for all the partners that we do have, and a lot of them are here today. We work together with a goal to get the best count that we can. And as I stated earlier, we want to count each and every individual that's out there. So I want to say thank you all for being here, and I look forward to working with you. And it's a beautiful day outside, isn't it? Great day for a kickoff. Thank you all for being here. Okay, so next we're going to go to our next speaker, and we're going to have the Honorable Congressman Ben Ray.
Well, let's thank Henry Roybal again, who's the chairman of the Santa Fe County Commission and is helping lead all of the initiatives here with the census in Santa Fe County. So, the offices of Senator Heinrich and Senator Udall, who are here with us today. It's important that we have a strong partnership with the delegation. I know that Congresswoman Deb Haaland and Xochitl Torres Small are doing a lot of work across New Mexico to make sure that we have a strong count. To the governor of Pojoaque Pueblo, Governor Talachi, to the members of the council, while he has many titles, the title he has for today's gathering, Gabriel Montoya is Director of Special Projects as a committee member of the census. And so Gabe, I want to thank you as well, but for allowing us to be here, for hosting us today as we talk about the importance of why we're gathered. Commissioner Roybal laid this out, and we're going to hear a little bit later from Governor Martinez and Governor Mora, as well as our incredible mayor. There's a whole list of speakers. I want to get in front of it, Mr. Chairman, because I'll use all my time. But look, Commissioner Roybal touched this. He gave the example of what one person not being counted will cost New Mexico year to year or over a decade. The cost of a 1% undercount in New Mexico could result in the loss of up to $780 million. That's a 1% undercount. So you amplify that family to family, person to person, with what that means to important programs all across New Mexico. So that's why we're here. Now, one thing that I will say is, you can also go online, and you can get counted today. And we want to put that word out. But we know that not all families have connectivity. Not everyone's connected to the internet. Not everyone is able to navigate that process. But for those of you who know you have friends and neighbors and family who have access to the internet, whether it's at home or we should work with employers and business owners so that they're able to help their employees take advantage of whatever connectivity exists in that business so they can also get signed up and we can do trainings there. The reason we're here today is 42% of New Mexico's current population lives in what they call hard-to-count communities, where we don't have connectivity. We live in a rural state. There's a big geographic area. It takes hours and hours to drive across our state, and we even know our neighbors, right? It's not that they're next-door neighbors. They're neighbors that live across the pasture, across the fence, down the road. We live in rural communities, but you know them. You know where those families live, and that's why this committee's coming together, and why the work of Veronica with the U.S. Census Bureau, who's based out of Albuquerque right now, but who is working on the northern New Mexico connectivity and count matters so very much. So, as I turn this over to the chairman, and I believe we'll hear from Governor Perry Martinez next, there's just some important facts that I want to share with you, and I hope that we'll also hear from Somos un Pueblo, who's here, and you see their campaign, which is Somos el Censo. Everybody that lives in the United States of America needs to be counted. And I know that there have been some mistruths, some efforts by some members of this administration of Trump administration to try to get some citizenship questions included, or to discourage people, or put fear even to people coming forward to get counted. If we want to do what's right by the American people, and here in New Mexico, it's important to share what I'm going to share with you now. First, census takers will never ask about your citizenship status. The citizenship question was stripped from the questionnaire, and it's not the job of the census to ask about your status. Second, everyone counts. If we don't get an accurate count of everyone living in New Mexico, that $780 million that I talked to you about, it's going to hurt us. That $780 million for every 1% undercount that we won't have for schools, for senior programs, for investments in roads and infrastructure, for food programs, for every other service that we depend on from the federal government. Third, information given to census takers will never be used against you or reported to law enforcement. We have trained, reliable individuals collecting data for the census, and you can trust these individuals to protect your information. So to everybody here, I want to say thank you. To the media that's here, we're all in this together. So we have print journalists that are here today. We have folks that are capturing this for social media today. We have radio represented by Keswaba Radio. We need to reach out and use all the tools and investments, the grant programs that are out there, and build an army so we can capture this. Every one of us has a responsibility as well. If you've not filled out your census questionnaire, you need to go do that today. Ask your family and friends if they filled it out. Because if you've not filled it out, you're costing New Mexico $37,000 over the next decade. Now we want to make sure we're leading by example. Let's do what's right. Let's get the count. And to everyone here that's a part of this, I want to say thank you for making a positive difference and making sure New Mexico has the support they need. I also want to recognize some leaders from some churches that I see here today as well. We need your help. Every time that we have a gathering of members of the church, please take a moment to speak about this, whether it's a Bible study or it's on the pulpit on Saturday or Sunday. Please keep that in mind, whatever your faith may be. Let's continue to spread this, work together, and ensure that New Mexico is able to earn every dollar that we can for the betterment of our communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Congressman Lujan. And thank you for being here today. It's a great honor that you would make the time to be here with us today. We really appreciate that. Thank you. We're going to move on to our next speaker. This is for Pojoaque Counsel. Unfortunately, Governor Salachi could not be here today, but I believe that we have Dave Montoya that is standing in his presence today.
Sends his regards. He got pulled away early this morning, as tribal leaders do, but he wanted to send his commitment to the census. He has a great team here on the ground. Lorianne here is leading that charge here for the Pueblo of Pojoaque, and we look forward to partnering further with the county to ensure that the county is as accurate as possible. Thank you, Commissioner.
I figured I'd quit lying to myself and my glasses. I'll get over there. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next one. This is Governor Philip Pettis. I believe that he couldn't make it today. They had a death in the family, but I know that he is really committed to the census and Nombre Pueblo as well is. So I just wanted to mention that. Unfortunately, I don't believe that we have anybody representing him here today. But I did want to say that I've had numerous conversations, and he is very
happy to be involved in this also. In the past, it's been very important to get everybody counted. And as Representative and Commissioner mentioned, there's a serious lack of funding, and a better count means more funding for all of us. I remember just from the old times, how the old time candidates used to come around to the villages in their pickup trucks with their campaign signs, and some of them would have a big old speaker on it. Otherwise, someone would come with bullhorns, and they'd be right there in the middle of the plaza, come on and vote, come vote for me, just like that. That's old time campaigning, and it has to do with the census also. So everything goes intertwined with our efforts here. Good luck to Suki. We will be training enumerators if they need it, just to give us some cultural sensitivity. And also, on the other hand, we will be training our citizens how to use those kiosks so they can be more proficient with their enumeration. So with that, I'm looking for a good partnership with the census this year, and hope everything goes well. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Mora. And I apologize, everybody that has a program can see that Governor Martinez was supposed to be next. I apologize for that. I guess the glasses didn't help.
Take them off.
So then our next speaker is Governor Martinez.
Thank you, Commissioner Wibal, and also to Congressman, thank you for your words, and Governor, I don't think I can add too much more to what they've said, but I just want to emphasize the importance of the census. As Congressman said, it affects a lot of the services that we receive within our community, so I want to make sure that we stress that as well. And Pojoaque Counsel, we're actually looking forward, and we have a team ready to go, and we're looking forward to work with the county. We're excited to work with the county on how we can move forward, how we can get things done. I think the first thing is education, and I think we need to educate our people. At the Pojoaque Counsel, we've been working with our seniors program. We have community events that are going to come up to educate our people. We even have the individuals that are going to come to our Pojo that have badges that our community members know that these are official individuals that are going to be coming out. And then we just look forward to it, and I'm glad, Congressman, you brought up the thing about internet access. At each one of the events that we'll actually have laptops available, so individuals that can actually go online, and people assist them to kind of get counted for that. So we're ready to go, and we're looking forward to it. And we're also would like to reach out to whether the county or other surrounding publics to see what type of events maybe you have planned. Maybe we can incorporate the same events in the community to get everybody in the community. And how can we assist in the extended community as well, if there's any way that we can assist. So we look forward to it. We're ready to move forward on the count for the census for 2020. So I'm glad we have this event here today to kick off. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Martinez. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next speaker. And we have from one of our partners from the city of Santa Fe, Mr. Alan Weber.
Thank you, Commissioner. Great job. It is such a great joy to be here this morning with so many amazing partners. If you look at this program, the lineup of people who are here today tells the story about the partnership, the collaboration, the friendship that exists in New Mexico so that everybody counts. That's what we care about. We're all partners. The city is all in on this. Our libraries will be centers for people to come get counted. We'll be putting notices in our water bills. We'll be doing outreach across the city, working with our friends in the county, the Pueblos, the governors, our friends from Washington, D.C., who are really important to getting the word out. But I have to put a special word of thanks into our friends in yellow today. It is so exciting to see Somos here in yellow with big smiles, because when you go out on knock on doors, people respond. And people know you're there to help, and they know that you are part of the community and that you are giving them reassurance that everything the Congressman said about your data being safe is true. And there's a financial reason that's been touched on why everybody counts. But there's also a moral reason. And that is, we all stand for democracy and the Constitution. And the Constitution says everybody counts. And so when we go out and knock on doors, we're looking for money, but we're looking to do the right thing for the United States of America, for New Mexico, for Santa Fe County, and for all of our community. And I'm so excited to be here with this kickoff. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Weber. Great words. One thing I'll say is, Mayor Weber does what he says and says what he does, so I appreciate that. Okay, so next we're gonna go on to our speaker from Somos Un Pueblo Unido, and it is Maria Lara.
Hi, my name is Maria Lara, and this is my coworker Vanessa. She will speak after I'm done with my speech a little bit about what we have been hearing at the doors when we have been knocking on doors. Like I said, my name is Maria, and I am working with Somos Un Pueblo Unido. I am helping with census outreach in Santa Fe. We have been focusing on 5 census tracts of priority. So far, we have knocked on 10,000 doors. Did you know that 1 in 10 New Mexican is foreign-born? Immigrants are a driving growth in many rural and semi-rural communities in the county and in New Mexico is no exception. It's important to remember that this is our money. This resonates with our community because they know that we pay taxes and we want our money to come back to our community in our schools, hospitals, clinics, and all the programs that we need. We have been hearing some challenges when we have been knocking on these doors, such as that some people fear that the information that is gathered during the census will be shared. We have noticed that a lot of the time it's misinformation. So if you inform our community that the information in the census cannot be shared for 72 years, that if someone tries to share this information, they can go to jail or they can be fined. A lot of the times this helps them feel more at ease about filling out the census. We have also noticed the importance of using trusted messages to do this kind of work. By trusted messengers, I mean school teachers, doctors, firefighters, organizations that are active in the community, because they are more likely to open the door and listen to what you have to say about the census and other information. We also based our messaging on what the community needs. Therefore, every message that we use, we have been doing census outreach not only in the Santa Fe County, but 3 other counties, Lee, Chavez, and Rio Arriba. And we have noticed that it's very important that you base your message on the community needs. Now, my co-worker Vanessa will talk about what we have been hearing at the doors. Thank you.
So hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'm a member of Somos Un Pueblo Unido. Today I'm going to talk about the census. I'm currently participating in the census campaign with Somos Un Pueblo Unido. Through this campaign, we go door knocking to inform our community about the importance about the census and to make sure that we all get counted. Through my experience, I noticed that people in our community are afraid that filling out the census can leave the government finding out their status. I have also witnessed the importance of informing our community that the census occurs every 10 years and that the citizenship question will not be included. That filling out the questionnaire means getting a $3,745 per year per person in funds for money which is used in our healthcare systems, schools, Head Starts, roads, to provide Medicare for our children and affordable housing programs for our community. Some things that canvassers and I have been hearing at the doors are, what questions will be asked? Will it affect my status, or can I participate even if I'm undocumented? I'm really excited to share that this next census, 2020, will be my first time filling out the census. Even though my family and I have lived in New Mexico for many years, and that reason my family and I are participating is because now we know the importance about the census. Thank you.
Good job, and, it's really important for us to, get the information of the different challenges that we're facing out there, so I really appreciate you sharing that. 10,000 doors, I mean, wow, that's a major accomplishment, great job. Okay, so next we're gonna go on to our next speaker, and this is, Elias Bernardino. This is the Santa Fe Public Schools. Elias?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, County Commissioner, Chairman. My words are going to be a little bit, I speak Spanish, so in my head I'm translating in English. So sometimes my words aren't really grammatically correct. I work for Santa Fe Public Schools, and I'm part of the leadership. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of context. We serve about 13,000 students in the city of Santa Fe and parts of the county as well. That represents about 17% of the city of Santa Fe's population. And I'm very honored to be in this committee because I got really excited about the impact of the census would be for Santa Fe Public Schools. We are a sanctuary district, which that means we have policies in place where ICE just can't just go into our schools, and we have a protocol on how we approach those types of things. Anyhow, we also have I believe, one of the largest networks in New Mexico. I'm not too sure if you know, but we do have a one-to-one device from 4th grade to 12th grade, so that means each student has a laptop or a Chromebook. So our network is pretty well-versed. So one of the strategies that we're going to be using is leveraging what we currently have. And so we are in the process of working resources and logistics to open up our schools, which we hope our families feel more comfortable coming in and filling out their census form. It's not a form, it's an online process nowadays. Anyhow, my understanding is there's 132 programs used for that use the census data. And I just want to speak about the two highest ones that I know, or there's the top 10. From the top 10, the 6th highest one is the National School Lunch Program. Our district is 75% free and reduced. What that means, we leverage that fund. So we have 75% of our students. 10% are considered homeless in our district. We also have the 9th largest fund is Title I. We have various schools that are in Title I status. So we want to really count everyone in our community. I spoke earlier, 17% of our student represents our population, but they are 100% of our future. So that's where we want to emphasize to count and really support our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Elias. Next we're going to go on to the Pojoaque Valley Schools superintendent, and very excited to announce that she has actually been hired as the superintendent. She was interim for a while and acting, and so I'm just really pleased to introduce her and thank her for her commitment to our kids in the valley, and Sandra Adams.
you talked a lot about the programs, and we have very similar statistics in our district. We have Title I, we have free and reduced, and our students deserve this. We talked a lot about the adults getting counted, but our little ones have to be counted so that we can provide for them. Pojoaque also has 2 medical facilities on our campuses that are funded and receive funds through Census counts. So I just appreciate all of the work that we're all doing to get all of our students counted, and they deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. Next we have from the U.S. Census Bureau, Veronica Azafra.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, everyone. I'm Veronica with the Census Bureau, and I have been working in New Mexico since 2018. We have been doing a lot of education, a lot of outreach to different groups, to the municipalities, the elected officials, nonprofit organizations that are key with our immigrants communities. So now it is the time for education to transform into motivation. Starting next week, March 12th, the Census website is going to go live. So you are the trusted voices with your networks, with your friends, with your families. It is key that you go online, March 12th, fill your census questionnaire, get it done, but then start asking all your network, have you done the census questionnaire? We heard a lot about political representation and federal funding for our communities. It is key that we take this once in a decade opportunity. If we don't take advantage of it, we're going to go with the wrong numbers for the next 10 years. That's a long time to go with wrong funding and wrong information. So also, in addition to the internet, we're going to have 1-800 number that is going to be available in 12 different languages. So the rural communities, we can tell people, like, you don't have a computer, you don't have Wi-Fi, not to worry. There's a 1-800 number that you can call. You can request somebody to help you in Spanish, in Navajo, or 12 other languages that are in addition to English. So the time has come. Let's make sure that we all get counted. Thank you.
Okay, and from Santa Fe County, we have our esteemed county manager, Catherine Miller.
Good morning, everyone. This is a great turnout, wonderful event. I want to thank everybody who's been able to make it. Special thank you to the congressmen, to the governors, the representatives, mayor, and community leaders, and all our community partners. I am so impressed with the number of 10,000 households already, and our doors. I think from the 2010 census, by that count, you still have about 60,000 to go, and I see great energy from you. I think that's fabulous, and it is really important that everybody be counted for the reasons of the funding, but also from what the mayor said. I mean, it's just, the census is used for so many things. It's a constant reference in the world of government is looking back at the census and how many people are here in New Mexico and how many people are here in Santa Fe County. And to those numbers of 1% undercount for Santa Fe County, if it means 780 million for the state, 1% in Santa Fe County is over $5 million a year, $5.5 million a year if you estimate about 148,000 to 150,000 people in Santa Fe County. That's a lot of funding that needs to come back to Santa Fe County to provide transportation, housing, and healthcare, and so many things that we count on in this community. And right now, Santa Fe County is going through its budget process, and I'm acutely aware of every dollar that we generate in local taxes and what we get in federal taxes back to this community and what it does for this community. So can't stress how important it is that everybody is counted. And the enthusiasm and excitement in this room and with all the groups that are participating in the census is key to making sure we carry that through the whole year until everybody's counted. So I just want to once again thank everyone. I do want to mention the Complete Count Committee and all the work you're doing. Thank you so much, Henry, for chairing that. And I want to point out also Tricia Boyd from the county and Krista Kelly, who have really brought all of this together. Just want to point out that we were the first to put our committee together, the first in New Mexico, and I think and that goes to Patricia and Krista really being on top of it right away. So thanks them and encourage them. We have 2,000 square miles, almost 2,000 square miles in Santa Fe County, and it is very diverse from Edgewood to Espanola. It's what makes our county beautiful and so culturally interesting, but it's also what creates a challenge for making sure that everyone's counted. So get out in your communities, get out, make sure that you yourself get online and get counted, and everyone you know, and encourage people to respond to the census and be counted, and let's make sure we get everything that we deserve back to this community. So thank you, and I applaud all the efforts of everyone here today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Manager Miller, and I think everybody that's here today has shown a huge commitment to the census. And, one thing I want to ask is that, we all just give a huge round of applause for everybody that's here today and is part of this team. And so, with that, I'd just like to say thank you all for being here, and have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Smile, 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 smile.